Hi, so I'm going to tell you about belly fat really quick. So there are two different kinds of fat. There's subcutaneous fat. Subcutaneous fat is the kind that's over your whole body. It's right underneath your skin, and that kind of fat is different than visceral fat. You like my vocabulary cards? The visceral fat is the kind that's around your organs, and that's when you have maybe thin arms and a big belly, that's visceral fat. So overall body fat, subcutaneous, around your belly is visceral fat. So visceral fat comes from too much fat around your organs. And the weird thing is too much visceral fat comes from not eating enough fat. So there's studies that show if you increase fat intake, if you do nothing but increase fat intake, you will lose your belly fat. I know that sounds so crazy. So that means every single meal add an avocado or olive oil or chocolate. I know that sounds crazy too, but it has to be good quality chocolate. So for me, I use this product. It's my favorite because it just opened the lid and I pour it in my mouth like it's frosting, and it actually tastes like frosting. It is really expensive. It's like stupid expensive, but I love it, and it keeps me eating. It's easy to add throughout the day, is what I'm saying. Like, I'm not gonna pour 2 tablespoons of olive oil in my mouth because that's gross. But this tastes like candy. But there's no sugar in it, but it tastes good. Another way is, so when you do the chocolate, I get raw cacao and I put a scoop in a smoothie, which I could also put the oil in. Um, so when one book that taught me a lot about it, I'm embarrassed to even show you this book, but this flat belly diet, it I would not have bought this book. It looks so corny. It looks so like in your face, like glossy magazine. But I saw it at a used bookstore for a quarter, and I was like, I can't say no to that. And it actually is really informative because they quote scientific studies about it. It's not just lose weight quick. Also, it's a pretty good book. It's about having 4 meals a day with kind of lower calorie meals, 4 lower calorie meals a day rather than 3 huge ones, and that always adding chocolate, olive oil, avocado, etc. Good healthy fats. Another book that I really like is Bulletproof Diet. So this one is a little bit more strict. Um, One study that he talks about that's really cool is they did the, so I was vegetarian, like completely vegan for years, so I don't like quoting animal facts, but this is a really interesting animal study. So they took rats and there were fat ones and there were skinny ones, and they looked at the bacteria of the fat ones versus the bacteria of the skinny ones. And when they took out the bacteria of the fat ones and put it in the skinny ones and vice versa, the fat ones became skinny and the skinny ones became fat. So it's actually the bacteria in your gut can control your weight. So the kind of bacteria, this really blew my mind. The kind of bacteria that makes you fat is like lactobacillus, like the kind in the probiotics that you spend $2.50 a pill for. Um, and the kind of bacteria that makes rats skinny, uh, you can't really eat them. But you can feed them. If you already have the right kind of bacteria in your gut, you could feed them with polyphenols. Here's my other vocabulary word. So you could feed them with polyphenols. So how do you get polyphenols? So the number one way to get polyphenols, the food with the most polyphenols, is coffee. I know, bummer, right? So he He talks about there's this, most coffee though has a bunch of mold in it. Like Starbucks coffee, any common coffee is going to be so much mold that it negates the health aspects of the polyphenols. And most coffee, it has like bird poop in it because it's not treated in a way that it's super clean. So you can get super clean coffee that's processed in a way that it has no mold or no, bird poop. And that would have the highest polyphenol content. So, me personally, it doesn't mean I'm going to drink coffee. I think if it were an emergency and it was medicinal use, I might consider it. But since it's not an emergency, there are other ways to get polyphenols. I would Google the word polyphenol. Again, I'll show you. Polyphenol. Google it. Another good way to get polyphenols is chocolate. So again, chocolate will have the good stuff to help you lose your belly. Just like the visceral fat will get lower with chocolate. Also, the good bacteria that makes you thinner is fed by polyphenols, which are in chocolate. So I don't know. I love that fat and chocolate are the solution, or they could be part of the solution. Obviously, I'm not a doctor. I'm just a consumer. Don't take my health advice with take it with a grain of salt. I'm still just a consumer. So the other thing that helped my belly as well, and I also, when I was younger, I was a dance major, and I did ballet and jazz, and I would swing dance every single day of the week. I was dancing, and I always kind of had a little belly. Not like a huge belly, but I had like skinny arms and skinny legs and just a funny little belly. And I'm talking in my late teens and early 20s. And then now I'm in my 30s, and I did yoga teacher training, which was like 6 hours of yoga a day for a long time. So, and I had a pretty good belly, but it still wasn't really flat. The crazy thing, going from 6 hours of yoga a day, I did this workout that was 13 minutes a day, which sounds so stupid. To go from working out hours a day to just 13 minutes a day, I actually finally had a flat belly, like at age 34. So in all my years, in my teens and 20, I still kind of had a little belly. So this is another one. You have to forgive the cover. But this workout, it's called TTAP, and it's called Basic Workout Plus. Wait, no. That's not the right one. Let me show you. I don't have it in here. Just look up TTAP and look for Basic Workout Plus. $35. So rather than working out every day, paying hundreds of dollars for a gym or for personal training, you could spend $35 for like a 13-minute workout a day. I think it's the best bargain in every way. It's cheaper money-wise, and then it's cheaper time-wise. You don't have to be working out every day. You don't have to drive anywhere. You just pop in your DVD, and that was the thing that made my belly flat. That's so stupid. Like, I wish all the hard solutions I tried worked, but it was more, what she focuses on is spinal alignment. So she makes all your muscles really strong that hold your spine up straight. So she's helped people with scoliosis, etc. So it was more building the muscles all in my back to keep my belly in properly. That she builds your muscles, she says, more like a girdle. So it's holding everything in over your whole body. So you have strong muscles, but they're lean muscle rather than bulky. I tend to get a little bulky. Especially for a girl, I get a little more bulky. So I was actually pumping my abs up. I had really strong abs that stuck out a little bit. And then the other thing that's cool about T-Tap, her name's Teresa Tap, it has nothing to do with tap dancing, is when she first started doing exercises for people, she was in a place where people had edema, meaning swelling. So people, whether they're in cancer treatment or various other treatments, she would teach them exercises that would immediately make them less puffy. So in this 10-minute workout, she aligns your spine so your belly's flatter, and she also lowers inflammation, lowers the puffiness. So whether you have puffiness in your belly because you have wheat allergies or sensitivities, or any type of allergies like dairy or whatever you're allergic to that's making you puffy, her exercise tapes will actually lower that puffiness. So I think that sounds like a perfect solution to me personally. I think, spinal alignment, lowering inflammation in a short period of day, being working moms or even just moms with kids, it's hard to fit in a workout. So anyways, I hope you liked it. If you still would like to have a phone call with me, go ahead and private message me. You could also find me on my website called veggiefairy.com. It's not necessarily vegetarian, but it's how to make vegetables good for kids, which, is a challenge. And or you can find me at lightninglotus.com. All right, bye.